Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Humankind, where as you can see, I was totally right about Yellow having a lot of scoring potential left in the first era, but I think I somewhat underestimated our own scoring potential in the first era. I mean, we really took off on Gold. And so, I think what I said before about not sticking around for any further stars was right. We could... So, okay, 644 to 900... Oh, no, we're earning 13 influence per turn. No way. We could try to make 4 districts happen. We could try to make 4 districts happen in the next turn or two, actually, probably, because of the amount of money that we have. That's an interesting idea. We might be able to push for that and grab this just before moving on. But we should have at least a look at the next era cultures, see what is available to us, and what is already gone and stuff. So, we are missing 4 people have moved to the next era, is that right? 5 other players have moved to the next era already. Okay, so we're missing a lot of stuff. This is an expansion focus, that's an influence focus, a science and an agrarian. We would not likely have taken... We wouldn't have taken Celts again anyway, because we took Celts last time. Let's just have a look at what's left. So, the Romans, +1 unit slot available for each army, 5 unit stacks instead of 4, especially relevant when you do not have reinforcement abilities, but even with reinforcements, it's still relevant, because only the first army gets to actually start with all their troops on the field. And then what's the deal with the Praetorian Guard? Rear attack applies whenever an ally is adjacent to the targets. You don't have to be directly across. That's a pretty big deal. Rear attack's 4 combat strength, right? That's a big modifier. And the Triumphal Arch gives you influence and stability, but also minus stability. So it's a district that has the normal district penalty, but also an offset. It's weird that they wouldn't just make it +3 influence, -7 stability, you know? And then it applies an additional stuff to a victorious city anytime you have the victorious modifier. I don't actually know how common it is to apply that. Do we have the victorious modifier on our cities right now? Is it a thing that happens when you've won a war? Yeah. Okay, so every time you win a war, you get a stability boost. And with the Romans, you get, as long as you have that district, you get more. That's pretty cool. And I actually really like... this is another thing in the design of this game that I really like. The fact that there are these common statuses that can be applied by different things, and then other things can hook on them mechanically like this. I think there's a lot of really fascinating design in this game. The Maya, +2 industry on districts that produce industry, including our current emblematic district. Oh, which we definitely want to build in each of our current cities, each of our new cities, before we move up. And then their emblematic district gives plus industry for number of territories, so it'll be awesome in the capital. +2 faith, -10 stability, +4 industry per adjacent maker's quarter. That is a lot of industry. And this is a district focused. What do you call it? Gameplay orientation, affinity. That's the word I was looking for. Having 2 new cities, we're probably going to be building a lot of districts in the next era. On top of that, like just naturally we would want to do that. So honestly, Maya might be really smart. The Noble Javelineers have a poison status, which reduces enemy movement speed and attack range, which is pretty fun. A ranged unit that reduces enemy attack range. Seems like it could be a really frustrating thing to play against. The Huns have bonus combat strength on cavalry and on mounted nomads. Okay, like this. This is a nomad unit. So nomad units are special units to gather food through fighting and ransacking. Oh, okay. They hold on to that like tribe mechanic from the first era. That's actually really cool. Yeah, actually, that's fascinating. Having a unit that can just like play far away from home and be ransacking and stuff, and be upkeeping itself through its ransacking rather than having to return and heal. The Ordu... You get Ordus instead of outposts, but Ordus cannot be attached to cities. So you can only make them cities on their own or just leave them. Okay, interesting. I don't think appropriate for what we're doing, but definitely cool. The Goths are also combat affinity, +5 combat strength from ransacking. Is that just while you are in the action of ransacking? I assume so. A unique district that just gives influence and faith and no resource exploration? This seems quite bad. Okay, I guess there's not naturally a lot of ways to get extra faith. That's probably all this is. That must be the case, because otherwise this is a very strange thing. Gothic Cavalry. Bonus combat strength when ransacking and when fighting on enemy districts. Okay. Horses and 2, I'm assuming that's iron, since we know it's not copper. The Carthaginians might be compelling. Remember that we're going to keep our golden dreams. So we have a lot of income, and we have pretty resource-rich territory right now. So any merchant affinity is going to make it real. We're going to have a really easy time getting our affinity stars. So modify buyout cost by -50%. The Kothon is a harbor. I mouse over it like there's new information. I guess there is. The resource exploitation line is relevant. So it's a harbor with fortification +3 industry per adjacent coastal water. I don't know what the stats of the harbor are by default, so I don't know how much better this is. And then War Elephants. Stronger when attacking weaker units. 31 base combat strength, which is pretty good relative to a lot of the stuff. 22. I think this was a 29. Yeah. So, Carthaginians. Compelling, perhaps. If you're making a lot of money, it's really nice to have cheap buyouts. And this is a great trait to follow you throughout the entire game. And then finally, the Axumites, +10% money generated from ongoing trade. Okay, we have a fair amount of trade going right now. +1 money per territories under the religion's influence. Faith and money, and money, and money. And a unit that has a larger zone of control which cannot be ignored. Interesting. I assume when it says larger, it probably just means 1 extra tile. But that's cool. That's okay. I think we're going to go Carthaginian. I think that makes sense. But we are not going to do this yet. Let's, first of all, make sure that we get our unique districts bought out, and then secondly, see if it's reasonable to push for this really quickly before we move up. So, in Huaricanga here, so this is going to want to be near Maker's Quarters, so you want to build it into an area where influence is strong. Let me re-enable our things here. Yeah, so like we could build it this way, and then build Maker's Quarters around it to grab the surrounding territory. This only grabs the money and the... Yeah, so it's gonna burn the food that's on this tile, but like... I don't know, it's not very strong in terms of, like, the Maker's Quarters we'd build off of it don't actually get any territory. This is my major concern. If we built it this way, it doesn't really cost us anything, but, like, again, the Maker's Quarters built off of that are not very compelling. This is fine. I think this is fine. So, 233, absolutely. And then, absolutely want to make sure we get this down this turn as well. So again, we want to be building into a high industry area. This seems like a pretty natural fit. And we don't even lose any resources this way. Because all of the resources in this direction are that thing, are those resources. So now, out of curiosity, if we were just to, let's say we were going to do that, 182. Okay, yeah, we can totally just buy ourselves a star and then move up to the next era, which I think we're absolutely going to do. So, what exactly do we want? I mean, it probably makes sense for it to be a Maker's Quarter here to reach out and grab the forest stuff here. And then that's giving us 7 points of resources in total, which is not, like, amazing. But obviously it's not. It's worse up here. And do we want another farmer's quarter? I kind of want to make sure that we have the money income, right, from doing these. So let's see, that's +4 +3. This is 9. This is 9 extra industry, just continuing to reach out into the sort of the yonder. Okay, so let's purchase ourselves a little bit of fame. And then at this point, I think we just move up. I mean, yeah, I guess we're out of money. We don't really don't really have that many options. We do have other things going on, and I do have to set builds for the rest of our cities. Let's run you up here and have you join up with what little army we have remaining, which I have maybe mismanaged a little bit. So remember, when we move up, we're going to lose the ability to build our emblematic district, but we can only build 1 per city anyway, so we're fine. We're not losing anything there for the moment. We also lose the ability to build the archer, the special archer. It'll be replaced with the normal archer, and I think that's fine. I don't think we need to be in a hurry to put this up. I don't think that we are in a dangerous position right now. No, I don't think anyone's going to declare war on us. Perhaps that's hubris, but I think we're cool. So we were talking about potentially putting down an outpost here, and I still think I want to be in a position to do that, so I kind of just want to leave you near the place. I mean, the only resources in this district are 2 more marble, though, which we already are already quite clear on. There's copper and there's gold across here, but green will probably have something to say about that, and we wouldn't be able to easily connect it. I don't know. I'm going to keep you out here. You're my eyes for the moment. I think we'll just like park them on the high ground and wait. And then you all should just merge up. That's what we got as far as military goes. Okay, so let's build some new stuff. Oh wait, am I allowed to build? I thought we discovered, oh, you can only have 1 per territory. Okay, that's interesting. I had misunderstood that. It would take 3 turns for us to build this. We're not going to be able to get that down to 1. So there's a question there about, like, I guess, do you want to delay a little bit, maybe? What would the buyout cost be? Because, like, this is awesome, right? $686, 2 turns. So $363. Yeah, there's no version of this where we get that down to 1. Is it worth it? I didn't realize it was 1 per territory, or I would have made those. I wouldn't have bought out the second districts in the new cities. I would have bought out 2 more of these. Are we pressing up? Oh, I should mention, there is also the option to transcend. You can keep your current culture through the next era. Obviously, your stuff is a little bit outdated, but you do move up to the next era, and you get the new stars available and whatnot. And you do get a fame bonus. So, if we thought the Carthaginians were not enough of an increase, then we could skip it. But, I mean, a big downside there is that we don't get a legacy trait. We just end up short a legacy trait, and I actually really like theirs. Provided that I understand what constructibles means. I'm assuming it refers to all of this stuff, the infrastructures. It could be, it's probably view only constructible. Only elements of the constructions list you can actually, okay, that's just an English language use of the word constructibles. It seems like a very good bonus. I think we want it. So let's figure out what else we're going to build in the other 2 cities, and then we'll suss this other thing out. So, like, do I want to build more? Building farmers' quarters into each other is more valuable in places that have horses. So it's not so great here. But it's still food. And, like, we still need population, right? We don't have... Oh, no, we totally have a river. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 river tiles that we're exploiting, so... where's the... Do they already have the thing? We are allowed to build the animal barns even without horses in the area, I guess. Although, obviously, they're a little bit less compelling. This is all forest and woodland up here. This is actually kind of a lot of forest and woodland, and we're likely to continue expanding into more. So right now, this is... You are, right? Forest. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 forest tiles right now. This feels very strong to me. Let's go ahead and work on that. And then here, obviously, that tree stuff is a little bit less compelling. There is some woodland down here, but there's none up on the plateau, right? It's all just, yeah, it's all just rocks, basically. We could build pottery workshops, I guess. Just desperately try to maintain our influence. We don't have any super compelling builds for this. How are we doing on... Okay, our stability here is, like, extremely great. So we don't have to worry too much about that. It might be a good idea to build out toward the coast. Yeah, we're about to get this Carthaginian thing, right? I would like to be able to build a harbor in each city. Although I think, if I'm remembering correctly, you don't actually have to be adjacent to the coast. You can just build a harbor on the coast, no matter what. But, like, I still think it's a good idea to do this. So right now, this city is considered to have 0 population. We can't work on stuff at all. It's fine. They'll figure it out. How do we wanna rebalance this? I do want to push population, especially early on. We are at 12 industry per worker, though. Because of, Okay, so these aren't showing the actual bonuses on the city. This is just what's in this region. Because this is, in order to be getting 12 industry per worker, this is absolutely getting the benefit from the marble that we have. So, okay. That does sort of make me want to put people on industry, but also, like, population, right? You desperately need population, and then at some point you flip your population engine over into an industry engine. Okay, so... Karma, are we doing this, or are we just going? Also, civics. We have a civic choice that we have not made. I just remembered. So... Legitimacy makes new cities celebrate for 10 turns, or reduces the cost of attaching outposts and stuff. I feel like there was one of these that I was pretty excited about. The independent peoples thing is not really that amazing. Ah, yes, okay, this one. I think we should take this one. And I am inclined to say... Yeah, I think we want this move over. So let's go professional soldiers, +1 combat strength on our units. You know, you can overcome higher production costs by having more production. There's not really as easy an answer. I guess the answer for having units with lower combat strength is just build 2 units. That does solve that problem fairly quickly. I think I'm gonna... How much money was it? It's a lot, right? $7 and $12. Oh my god, it's so good. Nope, I guess we're gonna stick. We're gonna stick for 2 turns and then flip it. And if we do that, there's no way we get to a star off of doing so, right? This would be pretty far away. Is anybody else in a position to take a culture? Green could be at any moment. Green might get a culture next turn. And the earlier we move over, obviously, the earlier we're making progress on all of these stars that we can't have right now. Yeah, never mind. It's a good district, but there will be other good districts. I do want to upgrade. So let's start building something else here. There's lots of good stuff to build. Honestly, palisades are certainly compelling. I don't know that I think a watchtower is very good. I do kind of like Pottery Workshop. Like, it's a pretty small benefit, but like you do actually need influence, and it's not easy to get. Also, my empire is suffering a penalty of 30 influence per turn. That doesn't seem correct. How do I... So they've changed this administrator mechanic a couple of times now. Is it still the case that I can get extra city administration from technology? So we're working toward a civics point. Is there... Okay, there we go. Yep, so +1 city cap in philosophy, which is one of the first texts of Era 2. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to expand into. We're still working. So let's go ahead and pick the Carthaginians. Yeah, I think I like it. I think this is going to turn out to be really huge throughout the entire game.
As urban centers grow, both ideas and sewage are generated at a record pace. Arts and sciences flourish as military tactics and mathematical equations become as coveted as physical goods. Empires struggle to control these intangibles, however, as some might trouble their stability.
Also, elephants. Elephants might trouble their stability. Yeah, I really like the additional readability of the colored outlines on the district types. That's really nice. So as you can see, as we move up, our districts will change in style to whatever our new culture is, but emblematic districts will always retain their original appearance. So as you move through history, your cities become sort of like this patchwork of all of the things that have influenced you, which I think is really cool. That's a neat idea. There's a lot of neat ideas. Okay, so... Yo, 4,600. Just a mere 4,600 gold for that next star. I guess we could see why none of the people who moved up into the second era have gotten stars yet, I say, as we note that Yellow has in fact gotten 2. That said, we're still leading. We're still doing good work over here. So, constructible buyout costs way down. Oh yeah, way down. That's pretty cool. I'm a pretty big fan. Okay, maybe we do have to have a district adjacent to the water in order to harbor. So this is ocean, though. Harbors can only be shallow, right? Oh, also I haven't researched harbors yet. It's probably got something to do with it. So sailing. Maybe not, actually. Fishing? Fishing... The Nost. So this says replaces harbor. Huh. Well, that's curious. But yeah, we should probably get that. We should probably have access to the water if we're going to be Carthage and everything. So I am not seeing a lot of, I'm not seeing where our district is. Okay, here's our elephant. I appreciate the laurel marker. It's like, this is your special thing. Hey, look, pay attention. But I do not see our unique district. I wonder if it is on fishing and we're seeing like, because this is the Norse thing, right? I wonder if it's just applying the wrong unique for us. How many researches do we need to move up in stars? 6 researches. 6 new techs for the first star. Yeesh. Alright. Well, we're working on it. So, for the moment, it looks pretty quiet. Like I said, I think I want to take the high ground here until we have enough influence to consider putting down an outpost. And you guys... I want to get across the water. We can't embark yet, right? Yeah, we don't. We do not yet have embarkation. You know what we need to do? we need to get over here and start talking about this territory. I have been a little bit less excited about regions that only have one resource in them, but horse is a pretty relevant resource, and then also, obviously, stopping brown from spreading out is of value. So do we want to be rushing things? Probably, right? I mean, yeah, we took a trait that makes us good at rushing things. That's like our whole deal. So what else do we want to be building? We're still very good on districts. Or we're still very good on stability. So we may as well go ahead and build another district. Like, we could reach out here and grab another 9 points of... I mean, if it's just 9 points of industry either way, we should do it this way so that we grab an extra river. Although, this building, or this district, won't be able to get the value out of the river tile anyway, even if we do build the thing that makes you extra good at river food. So let's see, that's +6. There's a +7 over here. But it's not adjacent. So this would be +7 if we built the... well, it would actually be +8 if we built the building that gives the farmer's quarters extra adjacency bonus, because it would be the +6, and then each of these would gain 1 point from that. But we're probably not doing that right away. We might. We might actually do that the very next thing. Alright, and you're working on a farmer's quarter of your own, which was probably, yeah, constructed enough for us to jump in here. So there's another +6 available. We could also just... +4. I like +4, +3 here because it lets us do a researcher's quarter there to get that. Eventually. I think let's build that. Let's build that next. And how are we doing on pop? +4? Yeah, that's fine. 4 turns until the next one is... That's some real, what are you gonna do type energy there. So would we actually be getting... Yeah, okay, we would actually be getting 53 influence per turn if we did not have this penalty. Rough. Well, we certainly won't be founding any more cities anytime soon. Okay, green did move up, so I'm glad we went and grabbed the culture that we wanted, although it looks like they probably were going to go military either way. Also, I guess worth noting, green is going military, and keeping a lot of bodies up front here. That's a lot of troop building potential. So now that we're at 49, I think I am going to... Am I going to outpost here first, or do I want to try to outpost to cut off brown first? How does brown feel about me right now?
What do you want now?
Okay, not like friendly. And they are cruel. They are cruel people. We have demands that have to be resolved first. I can just withdraw all my demands, I suppose. Think of how much they would like that. Think of how friendly we could be. We could withdraw all these demands and then, you know, press on them diplomatically a little bit. So let's see. They have the merchant band. Nodes along your... the merchant badge, rather. While you have this badge, nodes along your trade routes provide vision within a radius that increases with the level of the badge. How do I get that? I want that. I feel like I'm doing a lot of trading, but I'm only doing trading with one trade partner at the moment. I'm gonna withdraw all of my demands.
A good ruler knows when to withdraw.
They weren't gonna
their
do them
demands.
anyway.
Now is that time.
You're a spineless little thing, aren't you?
Okay, he wasn't impressed by that. They have
Things
refused.
change.
Okay,
Even
well.
leaders and empires.
I was kind of hoping that we could get them into a place where they would promise not to attack us, and then we could plot this down. Just make it really diplomatically difficult for them to, to interfere. A filthy, wretched man has come to your empire, claiming to be a descendant of one of the ancient rulers of Huaracanga. Without fear, in front of your whole court, he boldly tells you that his people are owed great restitution for the grave offenses you carried out against his ancestors. I have been nothing but nice to his ancestors. However, he is willing to forgo this redress on condition you fulfill a divine prophecy and let him lead Huaracanga. He promises that fulfilling the prophecy will see riches come to the city, but deny him, and he promises to bring war or famine to your empire. I don't know. I guess that's fine. We could redress his desire, and that would make 4 of our units swift, but do I get to choose? I assume I don't get to choose. That moves us toward collectivism, which is that's not the money side, right? Yeah. We don't necessarily have to stay cash focused through the whole game. That's a big part of the beauty of the system, is that you can sort of shift stuff. So, maybe that's an okay outcome. His talk of prophecies will hamper rational thought, but commerce will flourish. We can make Huaracanga parsimonious. This is if we let him take over there. Or we can merely belittle him. To amuse the court, we will ridicule the man and send him on his way. Who cares about prophecies? So, Kerma will celebrate for some reason. That'll move geopolitical axis toward world and chance of unexpected consequences. I mean, I would actually like this. But this is $50 and 20 science. It's not a big bonus. And if our units can get to the place where we want to put down that outpost faster, I honestly think that's probably pretty valuable. This moves the economic axis toward collectivism, which is fine and does not change anything right now. I think I'm going to take that. We're good enough at making money. The science bonus, honestly, would be nice, but it's not gonna break my heart that we don't have it. Walk over here. Just move your vision around. Alright, solid patrol. Well done. And then we should check the the army that I already moved and see if they gained a movement point. They gained a maximum movement point, but they were at 0, and so they remained. Well, now we know that you should resolve your events before moving your units. So this is fine, and really no better than fine. I would probably rather build a district, given that we've gotten ourselves back to a reasonable position of resources. So, I mean, this is pretty good. Again, it means that we're not building farmers' quarters up into the river, but I think I sort of admitted that we were going to give up on that already. Yeah, this is fine. That seems like a perfectly reasonable thing to build. Alright, everybody else is doing stuff that makes sense for the moment. You know what? But we could just purchase that out. Probably ought to. Alright, do I want to do the influence thing now? We don't have enough farmers' quarters, and we don't have horses, so this is not very compelling. You know, I'm assuming, I guess, that this means +5 food per horse tile in this region. Or within this city's regions. But I suppose it could just mean +5 food for each horse resource that affects the city? I'd be pretty surprised if that was... That seems like an unintuitive reading to me. You know, like I said, influence is tough to come by, and if we're talking about being expansionist, which, you know, at this point means after we get sea travel, we're going to need the influence. Yeah, okay. So again, we have this sort of cultural stuff going on where I don't know what the meaning of converting to here is. Like, we're not going to gain control of it, right? The integration of its population will be completed in 1 turn. Right, because I am producing all of the influence forever. Oh, sorry, that's me getting Steam messaged. Just okay. Everybody's excited to talk about Humankind. Hey, what a surprise. So, slowly but surely we make progress. Tell me this is not Brown putting up an outpost.
In every sense of the question.
I am concerned for the... Okay, hold on a second. So, I can demand that the Hittites give us Kentaurus. Hold on, let me... Is that what conversion means? Like, we've converted enough. I have sway, and so that lets me launch a grievance. It doesn't just flip the thing to my empire. Okay. I'm assuming that we're still really kicking Purple's ass. Yeah, like, they might actually be too afraid of us not to give this over. You are oppressing my people. You're also oppressing the faithful. So I really think that you need to give me Kentaurus, and if you don't want to do that, we can certainly have some words about it.
That land belongs to my people. Yield.
Yeah,
Your
do it.
code is mere stupidity.
Harsh words from an AI talking about the quality of my code. Also, okay, I can't make a demand about the other grievance. I had to pick a flavor of that to do. Okay, that's fine. So I guess let's just... Do I have a sense of where I actually want to do this? Probably kind of in the middle. Like, there's some good science tiles here. Yeah, okay. I mean, either way, we're moving toward the river and then jumping in the river next turn, right? We have no ruins or anything spawning around here. You know, I could grab Subra too, because we actually are producing enough influence now for that to be reasonable. I don't think I want to grab Swellosin, even though it is pretty good. Ooh, look how swift we are. So this only says +1 movement, but we are actually able to cross rivers without paying the normal river penalty, it looks like, and I am not sure why. I mean, listen, I'm not complaining. Okay, fishing. We know we wanted to do fishing next. And with 156 gold, we can buy some things out. That's close. Well, we'll buy that out next turn. I guess let's rush... We could probably rush both of these down. There we go, just save us some time. And so now we have the food market, +1 money on market quarters for adjacent. So this doesn't do anything for us right now because we have no market quarters. We can start building market quarters, of course. And also it has given us access to the House of Scribes. In this city, we have the population to keep our researchers like on full blast. So I think we definitely want to build that here. I'm less convinced over here. But it might make sense for us to build some markets. So markets want to be adjacent to markets. Farmers' quarters just want to be adjacent to farmers' quarters. Okay, so far all of our stuff just wants to be near its own type of district. I remember there being some of them that want to be near other types, but again, that may be stuff that has changed somewhat in the builds. Right now, market quarters are not like particularly compelling. So we could get a +6 from that thing at the cost of 2 food. That's, fine. And that does put down, so then it's adjacent to a maker's quarter and a farmer's quarter, and maybe there's some stuff we can do with that. But honestly, it doesn't feel like a great boost given the amount of gold that we're currently bringing in. It's not like completely inconsiderable, but Why don't we work on influence everywhere? I'm a fan of getting our influence established. So, if we're going to do the thing here, where do we want to put it? It's probably near the river, right? Because otherwise we're not going to have any food. I guess near the river is plural. This is not awful. So we get the food from the volcanic soil and a couple of river tiles, and then we can build up either of the rivers from there. Yeah, that might be the move. And I guess the Hittites... So now the Hittites have 10 turns, right? Before they have to make a call on this. And when they do it... If they refuse to give it to us, then we have the ability to declare war on them immediately, or we can just cede the demand. Or is it that we get a bunch of war support? I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it, I guess. It is not a critical concern right at this moment. Alright, continuing to gain population, always good. Alright, next turn we can think about this. So how much would it be to put up an outpost now? 50, so the next one's going to be probably 60, based on the costs we've been paying so far. That's doable. We'll have that. Alright, hopefully the Morians will not be too mad at me. They didn't immediately scream at me about it.
What can I do for you?
Can we talk? So access to more treaties for closer cooperation. I mean, maybe we should propose an alliance. I'm no longer quite as worried about them as I was before. At this point, I think we can just surpass them, and like being allied with them is more of a benefit for us than it is for them. So I mean, that would be lovely, right? Let's try one of these.
The world is full of new opportunities,
Not into it.
is it
Okay.
not? Hear my proposal.
I figured they would not. If they wouldn't accept that, the alliance offer was not going to work. You guys are not quite where you need to be, but you will be next turn, and easy enough to do that. And then I think we'll just go ahead and fill that space immediately. I know it feels a little bit silly to be like the money-focused affinity all game and be rarely putting people in the trader slots, but like we're so good at producing money that it really doesn't feel very very useful. Okay, so here we could build off of, yeah, okay, a 13 seems okay. It's definitely less good than the unique district would have been here, but it's still pretty good. I'll pay 2 industry for 13 gold. That's fine. That's a rate of conversion I'm a little more comfortable with. So since we're doing so much buying out, I mean, can we really optimize population growth? I guess we're not going to get this down to 1 turn. So that seems fine. It's 357 gold buys out 373 industry. So there's no sense, if I'm mostly using gold for buyout, there's no sense in having people on money when they could be on industry producing twice as much raw resource value. If the things are so close in value, and that actually is just as true over here. Here, population's good. Yeah, this city's low enough on population. We should just keep pushing that way. So, we have generated enough faith and enough followers that we get a tenet now, I think, right? Yes. Let's enrich our religion, shall we? The Carthaginians are the religious leader of Nubian shamanism. It should probably change its name when we change our name. Whatever. So there are religions coming out of yellow, brown, pink, and black. So there are 2 other religions on our territory, or on our continent, like basically bordering us, right? The brown is not bordering us yet, but they will be soon. They have 22 followers. Brown has 16, and we have 16. Okay. So, you can't pick a tenet that has already been picked by another religion. Okay. So, I don't know exactly how this works. Is it a city gets this bonus if most of its believers are of your religion, I think? So, +5 influence on territories. +10 industry on holy sites. And right now we currently have 1 holy site. They all give a boost to the number of holy sites you're allowed to have. So just a +10 industry boost to any city that builds a holy site. +10 food boost to any city that builds a holy site. I kinda love this though. Like, just build a ton of influence, and then like as soon as we can get across the sea, if we can find land that is unconquered, we can just like spread out over it like the Zerg. I kinda think that's where we're going. We're all about smiting unbelievers, I guess. That's where I ended up. So we can see a breakdown of like the amount of religious force going on around here. Based on what we can see right now, it feels like we should be dominant, right? 66 faith impact in this territory out of the total 148. Well, these have 81. 10 faith from this territory, and 71 faith from other territories. So we're not bringing in as much faith. I'm assuming it's just the number of different believers. Because they have a larger number of believers, we have a little bit less influence, but we are producing a lot of pressure on purple, and that's going to come around on yellow as well. I think. So, okay, yep, we sure did enact a new tenet. I only sort of understand how any of these systems work. You know, we're all figuring it out live. So out of curiosity, where is the population star at? 38 population. Okay. So we're gaining quickly. Much quicker now with 3 cities, obviously. We need 6 more districts for a builder star. Okay, we're pushing along. Slowly but surely. And we're still leading on faith. Like, very comfortably. Your merchants trek the world, reaching great markets in far climes and selling your highly prized natural riches for much coin. Conversely, your empire sees many traders from distant lands visit our plazas with their goods, their wit, and their provocative ideas. When their knowledge contradicts the wisdom of your elders, it raises the question of who you should trust. So we can trust our elders' wisdom to get +1 science per researcher, or foreign innovations to get +1 science per number of trade routes. And it's a big move. It's like it moves the belief dot 4 spaces. Interesting. If we were really trying to focus on faith, we would want to move it back. We do by the way have a civics point up, and I just didn't spend it, so we could fire this now. So, before we make any big decisions here, let me go look at, like, Kerma. How do I see a listing of my trade routes? Because I need to know how many trade routes the city is considered to have. We have trade running with our neighbors. But I guess maybe I was misunderstanding that. I was reading it as a city gets science based on the number of trade routes the city has, but I guess trade routes are an empire level idea, right? So it's just each of your cities gets a bonus for each trade route your empire has, maybe? I think I don't understand the trade system as well as I would like.
And make it
Speaking of which, can we not? We must resolve our... Yeah, okay. Because I'm trying to get them to give me stuff. I can't also try to do merchant stuff with them. So where is... If I click on one of these, No, they don't give me any info. I need to access my trade route information. Where in the UI might that be? This is just cities and stuff. How long is Subra's 2 turns until it's connectable? And we can't get an idea of how much it will cost to connect it ahead of time, right? Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll have enough. It'll be fine. I'm getting distracted because I do that. Yeah, I don't actually know how to see. I'm sure it's in here somewhere, but you know, 4X games, there's a lot of information in the UI, and I don't always know exactly where to find it. Okay. I guess I do sort of want to... sorry, not this. I do sort of want to push over to the side of progress here. Right now, this is a pretty small amount of extra science for a loss of 10 stability. But I do think I want to be more science-focused than faith-focused, even though it does seem like we're going to end up getting some benefits from our religion. I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on tech, especially since I feel like we're behind. I'm going to do this. So we're going to commit that ideology marker all the way over to the right there. And then if I now look at Kerma's science output, it says +8 from Civic. Does that include... Okay, no, the ideology bonus is separated. So we're getting 8 science from that Civic here. And 1 here. Okay, so it is trade routes for, like, the resources in that city. Okay. I still think that's good. Actually, I think that's quite good. I think that has turned out to be quite good. So, after we finish the pottery workshop, which I guess we may as well just go ahead and purchase, I kind of do want to throw down the holy site right away. I'm sorry, I had the wrong city selected. Well, buying that out was still right. But I do think I want to throw down this holy site somewhere. And it doesn't much matter where, I don't think. It doesn't seem like it matters, right? So just, again, in a place where it's not going to be a problem. Like, on the edge of a territory or something. Although the holy site... Is the holy site itself the source of our religious pressure? It probably is, right? So I guess, actually, putting it, like, closer to the Morians might be a good idea. Like, if we put it here... It's out of the way. It's not gonna cause a problem for any district we might have wanted to build, but maybe it will press on them and obliterate their religion more effectively. And we could rush it by working 2 people to death. I am disinclined. Let's not. So, you guys. Were we to put down an outpost? Probably around here, right? I want to get the benefit of these 2 tiles, but I don't want this to be too far to build into. There's that reef up there. Like, you always, it's really important to make sure you're getting a good balance of food and industry at the beginning of a city. The tile is occupied, is it? I guess we have information that we should not have. Ah. There is, in fact, a peaceful encampment here. Interesting. Well, so we can't, Am I allowed to put down an outpost then? Probably not, right? No, it still does let me. Would this... So this is not a minor civilization, right? It's just a thing that's producing units. But they might become... Okay, yeah. They might become a neutral eventually. Right now they have 2 chariots and an archer, which is... If they were to attack us, they're peaceful, so hopefully they won't. But if they were to attack us, they would be bad. They would punish us very badly. I think I'm still going to throw down my outpost and we'll see what happens. So this is 13.6. We don't build into controlling all of the high-value tiles quite as quickly, but that actually is very compelling. Yeah, I think I may have screwed up a little bit. Let's go do that. Right, you guys just wait there. Napata can pay into the stone rings. But I feel like we still just need more population here. I would prefer to build more food. Okay, and those are pretty cheap to buy. Speaking of cheap to buy. Okay, so what do we want to put down now? We are trending toward 85 stability. So positive events are more likely to occur in cities with high stability. It's not a flat bonus or anything. Yeah, like we're not getting a resource boost from it. It's just a chance of positive events. I don't have a good sense of how powerful or frequent those events are, which makes it tough to really get a read on that, you know? I mean, especially early in a city's life, it is important for it to have a granary. It's like during this period where we're definitely going to have all of the population on food. Actually, this might be more important here. Yeah, I think I'm comfortable with that. So for the moment, things are quiet, and we're just gonna hope that we can engine harder than everybody else while things are quiet, and also hope that the Morians don't, the Persians don't go nuts on us. I have no idea what their military strength is like. If they got cross about this, it could be an issue. Alright, purple has finally joined the era. We have gotten fishing. So, okay, yes, that has unlocked our harbor replacement district. And we can build it without... Yes, we do not need to be adjacent to the space first. Okay, cool. We're about to build a whole lot of harbors. But probably we're going to let a lot of the stuff we're doing now finish first, because I do think it's important stuff. Let's talk about next research. So right now we don't have access to copper, and that really ought to change. And then after we get copper, I think it's like philosophy, because we should get research quarters and we should get an administrator. And this also gives us access to the school, which is just +1 science per raw population, which is nice. Yeah, that feels like the right move. And then we can talk about more money stuff. And I think we do, in fact, go ahead and put this down and hope that it does not become a huge issue. Didn't get yelled at immediately. So I'm feeling strong about that. Yeah, no, I know. I know they're probably mad. And you just hang out here. That'll flip next turn, and hopefully we'll have enough influence to just attach it to Napata right away. And this is still empty. Nobody has made a move on Swalosin. I actually just want you... You know what? No, you guys could move out again. Let us once again just have a look around. So they have military units. Are they at war? No, they are not at war with Yellow. They're just making a show. Well, we might lose that scout out there in neutral territory. They could totally just have at us. Can we buy this out? Yeah. Let's definitely start building a harbor. So, 12, 15, 6. Ah, yes, because of Reef. Because of Reef. Boy, that seems like a good district. That feels like a thing we ought to do. So, out of curiosity, how's my cultural pressure going? Okay, we're pressing in on their stuff pretty hard here. And on their stuff too, actually. We're producing just a lot of influence relative to everyone else around us. Yeah, wow. Okay. I don't know exactly what the outcome of all that's going to be, but it seems like a good thing. Hey, where is the technology that allows, like, embarkation and stuff? So it wasn't fishing. I mean, you might reckon sailing, but it doesn't actually look like it. So sailing gives us just boat. Basic boat. Transport galley... Okay. I think... Yeah, replaces land units which embark. Okay, so trade expeditions is the tech. Well, I think that's got to be a high priority, because, like, with all of this influence production, we want to be looking around for new places to settle. And we're going to have to, like, get a little bit more formidable here at home, just to make sure that we can afford to have units out exploring and also not get run over by angry neighbors. I'm gonna have this guy try to move as quickly as possible at the beginning of the turn into my own territory so he's not vulnerable. Nope. Sorry. Apparently they moved into me. Retreat. I did not want battle. I wanted to move into a space that was safe. Well, that guy's in trouble. The capital is the Empire's true seat of power, but now other cities with energetic populaces rise to prominence. Their leaders and other influential figures want sway over the Empire's affairs, and the question of who wields power must be answered. How do we lead? Do we do a small council thing? Oh, okay. This gives a city cap either way, so very important as soon as we get a civics point to fire that. Yeah... they did attack me. It's a lot of money. I feel like this is sort of poking the bear. Do we have trade available? I'm gonna ask them for luxury trading. Okay. Well, since we can't do that anyway, I think I may make this demand. The thing is, I don't really want to fight right now. We're not in a good place to build military units. I'm gonna just let that sit. I'm gonna neither make it nor renounce it. We'll get there eventually. So let's buy this, and then build ourselves a harbor. Because harbor. Did I have a farmer's quarter in the queue? Well, don't do that. Do this instead. Yeah, that's right. I thought I was going to do that, and then I boosted... I boosted the granary past it. This is a pretty high-value district. So that pulls 2 turns off of it. Can I... Yeah, if I move even a single person, we... Alright, let's let this next citizen get born, and then bump the 3 of them to industry. I think that's how we'll handle that. And you lot, I think, are going to play defense on this, but probably from the high ground. We can... Okay, this is a thing that's very common. We can burn a forest off of a tile for a temporary industry boost. I think I'm going to leave our forests intact. I think they have long-term value. That is great enough that that's a sensible thing to do. Do we want to move some people onto industry here to push this? Like, if we... Right now we have 2 turns until our next birth. If we did that... Wow, it really doesn't change the... It's just a very large amount of industry is the problem. That said, you should definitely be on this. Yeah. Yep. No, I know. Don't worry. Okay. Births are continuing. Oh no. So many notifications. The Archaemenids... The Archaemenid Persians have demand. The Maya accepted my demand. Oh. They sure did. Okay, I'll figure out what to do with that in a second. The Maya feel differently about you. Sure, that makes sense. Morians bought access to our salt. And I have the ability to ask for reparations because we were attacked again. Okay, well, hold on a second. First of all, let me resolve that. Okay, you're dead. Alright, we don't need to play that one out. Yep, our scout got et. That's tough. That's tough to deal with. The large number of farming districts has led to a blossoming of knowledge of plants for health, sustenance, and medicine. With the Empire at peace and stable enough to support such a move, never before has there been a better time to make official the status of your most learned brothers and sisters. Do you wish to found such a caste? Yeah, I think we should probably listen to the people who know things. Let's just call me crazy. But, so, we could use this time of peace to focus on better trained armies instead. That doesn't seem like that great of a temporary benefit for our current small army. Or all of our cities can get plus 10 food for 10 turns, and we can move the social axis toward it's already capped. Yeah, that seems like a real winner to me, though. Bountiful on our cities is definitely the play. Okay, so this is up. Let us please link this to Napata. How many turns we're going to have to wait 2 more turns on that, and then we'll link that immediately. And then we control a pretty large swath of territory here. So, what would it cost me to link this to Kerma? 280. I probably want to. I don't really see any reason not to. So let's see, they built a fortification with some stability here. And then obviously it's got the salt that we've already sold access to. So yeah, I think I do just want to connect this right to Kerma. I don't see any reason to, think of this as a potentially its own city or anything. Okay, a little bit of a broken tooltip there. So they are sullen. Sore from a recent defeat and too weak to do anything about it. Yep, that makes sense. How y'all feeling about, trade?
Things change, even leaders and empires. I have a proposal.
Seems like a real smart play to me.
A pleasure to accept.
Yeah, they need the value of our resources, quite badly. I guess we could take a quick look at their stuff. We could potentially purchase access to their stuff. So plus 2 science per mercury. Ooh. I do like lead. How much money do I have right now? 195? Okay, yeah. Close. Okay, more trade routes. I love trade routes. I don't know if you guys knew this, but trade routes pretty okay for us.
Why are you here?
And they have demanded that we cede Kang to them. I'm going to... Oh! How did this happen? Huh. So this is a solid yellow outline, but not over here. No, I guess it looks like that doesn't mean anything. Yeah, I wonder what occurred there. Did the Morians just straight up, buy it from them? How long do I have to respond to this demand? It's 10 turns, right? It actually doesn't say. This would grant them 10 war support, and they get war support every single turn from having ongoing demands. So if I don't want to fight them, I should answer right now.
Greetings. You have need of me?
I'm not allowed to propose... Okay, because I made a proposition that was refused. I wish more games had this concept in them. There are so many strategy games where if one player makes a deal and another player is not interested in it, that deal is allowed to be offered every single turn for all of forever. And it's super annoying. This is a really good idea. I am uncertain whether I want to refuse this demand right now and just call their bluff on whether or not they'd go to war over it, or whether we want to hold on for a little while and let it get consumed into Huaracanga and then refuse? I don't know, but you know what? I think this is an okay time to maybe take a break to think about it. So I think that is where we're going to call it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. We have not actually managed to pull any stars here in the second era. When you come back next time, tomorrow, Hopefully, we're going to change that. I'm going to pop this open. We're not even close to any of them, right? Actually, we are getting pretty close on gold. It was a big distance to cover, but we run very, very fast. So come back next time tomorrow for that. And we'll see you then.